Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, the new record breaker cards have just released, so we're going to try our best to review all of the cards, but probably Mbappe, because Mbappe is going to be so expensive, I can only imagine. But my boy Paul, the Bundesliga man's actually packed the Falcao card, so pretty cool stuff there. First owner Falcao would definitely be cool for a past and present FC Porto squad. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out the card. He's a 5'10" player with a high medium work rates, 3-star skill moves with a 4-star weak foot. So obviously not a player that can do skill moves with the 4-star weak foot will make him a finishing beast, especially since his base card stats for shooting is at a 90. In regards to his in-games, here's the important thing, is the fact that this card has the finesse shot trait as well as the outside foot shot trait. So that, with his base card stats for shooting being the way that it is obviously going to be incredibly helpful for a card like this. Now, they've drastically improved his dribbling stats from what I remember. So with this card, the chemistry style, it's going to depend, I think. I'm already thinking of an engine chemistry style to make him as responsive as possible. But I'm also thinking that a hunter could also be very good too, because with his pace being at 86 acceleration with 80 sprint speed, and the base shooting stats being as it is as well, there's a couple of things you can kind of work with this card, right? So if we were to give him a hunter, you could see that you give him 96 acceleration with 90 sprint speed while boosting his finishing stats a little bit. Now, obviously you're not boosting it fully, the hunter chemistry style's full capabilities in regards to shooting, but you're giving him that pace boost, right? So if you want to be able to run it behind the defense, that could be something that you may want to do. However, you could also give him the engine chemistry style, which is what people are kind of deciding on with this card. So the engine chemistry style would boost his balance by a +10, his dribbling by a +10, his pace by a little bit. His finishing is already quite nice, but then you would also be boosting his passing presence as well, right? So what I want to do is I want to test him out with the hunter chemistry style, right? Because I always think that a player plays mostly to their base characteristics, right? So if he doesn't have hunter, so I'm going to go get a hunter afterwards. If his pace isn't necessarily up to par, or his dribbling isn't up to par, we'll be able to tell in game. Actually, if he already has the engine chemistry style, then we could just try it out that way, because that would actually make more sense to do for the sake of the review. Because if the dribbling is drastically improved and the pace is good enough, then we'll try it out that way. What I'm thinking is that this card is probably going to be very target man oriented, so we'll see what's up with that, obviously, right? So dribbling stats for base card stats are nice, but with the engine chemistry style boost, you definitely drastically increase it. This card can head the ball very well in the air, considering the fact that he's a 5'10" player with 78 strength, 81 stamina, and 90 jumping. If you do those those assisted crosses, those driven crosses, or you just do a regular cross, at least you can have faith that this card will probably put it into the back of the net, right? So he just looks like a very good finisher. I want to see if his base card stats are good enough with the engine chemistry style. So what I'm actually going to do here is we're going to use him up top in the striker position, right? And we're going to use Socrates playing through the middle with Malong and Zidane playing as the CDMs. And the only instruction that we'll have set for the striker is come back in defense, because even though he doesn't have the pace, I feel like he could make a very good striker receiving the ball, going for that finesse shot angle, kind of like a Lewandowski card, right? So he could actually potentially make a good cam as well because of us boosting his dribbling stats as much as possible. So we're going to get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he's a beast, man. We'll see if he's like a drift wide type of player or if he actually likes to aggressively push forward. Because if he does like to aggressively push forward, that's when giving him a hunter chemistry style could be an ideal situation if you want to be able to fully utilize the card. So let's get into a game and see how he plays. Okay, so this guy's going to be using a Liga Santander team, Fakir, Lorente. I don't know if he'll actually line up like this. It'll probably be like a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, something like that. So, yeah. Okay, Falcao, let's see what your dribbling is like.
Thank you, Derek. I'm really looking forward to this. Both teams certainly capable.
Yeah, it'll definitely feel more responsive with the engine chemistry style, but just don't expect him to be like crazy responsive, of course, because that's not his base characteristic, right? But it'll definitely help the card out for sure.
On the ball, Malong.
Ah, he doesn't move into that empty space right there. Okay.
And the cross is very much on.
Let's get the ball here. Fake shots, touch.
Introducing the visitors lineup.
I don't know if I'd give him an engine. I think a hunter might make more sense. I don't think his dribbling is going to be drastically improved, you know what I'm saying, with the engine chemistry style, so it almost feels kind of like, it doesn't really feel like it makes sense. Because of his base characteristics in regards to his body type and stuff, I do think I want to give him a hunter, but also a stay central on the card for the instructions. I don't really want a card like this to drift wide that often, unless he's in a two-striker formation, right? Okay, so that we're going to aggressively make that run. We'll see what he's like coming back. Yeah, so he does drift out wide. Problem with that is that other players start to occupy his position, right? Like Zhang starts to do that. And this isn't the type of card where you want him to go to the sides, unless you're strictly going for those finesse shots, right? Let's try a regular shot from there, nothing crazy. I also feel like I want to boost the finishing as much as possible on this card as well, because obviously that's like the whole point of using a Falcao on your team, is just really good finishing. If he doesn't have certain stats, he'll compensate in other areas, right?
Falcao. Zinedine Zidane. Sané has it.
If I run over here, he starts to go into that position there, starts to go into the middle.
Malone. Sané.
Make that pass right there. Ah, a little bit too much. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's a hunter flex with him for sure.
He has time to play it over. And the problem not
Oh, and both my players collided into each other over there. I think it would have actually been cool if they didn't do that. But, you know. I'm going to change the instruction on the player, though, for sure. I don't like him on balance so far.
And the referee is quite rightly letting it go.
Yeah, he starts to drift out wide there.
Falcao.
I feel like he might be good on stay central target man, so I can utilize his traits as much as possible, too, you know?
Malone. Able to skip past his man.
Yeah, his dribbling is not like significantly increased with the engine base characteristics, right? So
Malone. Falcao. Making excellent progress with the ball at his feet.
yeah, his dribbling still has like that thing about it, you know?
Zinedine Zidane. Here's Mukiele.
Into that space. First time strike. Okay, at least he scores that opportunity. See, I just feel like if I had him on stay central, he would do that more consistently, you know what I'm saying? Because he makes runs. I just don't want him to move to the side because it just doesn't make sense for me to do that, you know? So let me try him on stay central. I want to see if he still makes those aggressive runs, because sometimes you just have to adjust the instructions of a player for him to consistently do certain things, you know?
And Valverde. No more time left. First half is over here at Anfield.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like if his off-the-ball movement is on stay central is good enough, you may want to give him that hunter because he is actually making runs. He's just not making the most ideal runs because of his base characteristics, you know?
On the ball with Alphonso Davies.
He actually comes close to me in a way. He has like those, I don't know. I think he might follow that stay central target man instruction well. See, he does actually make those runs right there. That's what I'm saying. First time strike. Nice goal. Yeah, he's definitely moving across the pitch a little better in that stay central area for sure. Again, he is actually making runs, and if you notice, none of the goals that I've scored so far have been based off of me dribbling into the space. So that might not be something that makes sense for you to upgrade on the card. If you want like to always aim for a better responsive feeling with cards, obviously you give them the dribbling boost. I just feel like it's kind of pointless for a card like this, right? How does he run over here? Stay central there. So Kati starts to go up. It's a first time pass. Touch. Boom. Movement downwards. Touch. Get that finesse shot angle. Oh, player blocked that. Yeah, I think stay central, I think is perfectly fine. It's weird, man. It's a combination of giving him engine or hunter. It just depends on what you want the most. How often are you going to need that pace? I don't know. It's tough to say. It's a pick your poison situation for sure. But you could see how he kind of positions himself now, waiting for that finesse shot angle. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what you have to aim for with a card like this.
And 30 minutes left for play in this match. Marong. And it's with Socrates.
I don't know, man. The way he moves into this space, like, he's kind of like a false 9 in a way. He always offers his support. It's very obvious that he constantly does that in the midfield. Not a lot of strikers actually do that, to be fair. They don't really actually come close to you. They're always super aggressive, pushing forward and stuff. He's kind of, in a way, he's kind of behaving like a medium work rated player. It's the best way I would describe it, I think.
Socrates.
His attacking AI is not crazy. I feel like you would have to give him a chemistry style to make it a little bit better, but he doesn't have crazy attacking AI.
And options in the center.
Oh, I was like, this is where you shine. Alright guys, so final verdict on Falcao's card. Let's talk about a few things, right? So this is a card where it's a pick your poison situation, right? Whether or not you want to give him the engine or the hunter. You can play with him on an engine in the cam position for sure. And you can also play him on an engine in the striker position. I don't think it really fits his characteristics that well because I feel like his base dribbling stats or his base characteristics transfer over to this card as well, just from this version to this version. So I don't think that the engine drastically improves the dribbling on the card. I actually feel like a hunter would make the most sense because if you have the hunter chemistry style and you have him on the stay central, get in behind instruction, and he can kind of get into those positions quickly and just do that first time strike, you'll be able to see some consistent finishes out of the card. This is also the type of card that if you want to play him in a realistic sense, you can actually have him on stay central target man and he'll play that position really well too, because that's kind of like what you kind of have to do when you use a card like this is touch the ball, take that one touch, go for the finesse shot angle, or, you know, take that touch and work around areas around you, you know, players that are making those really good attacking AI runs. The 98 attacking positioning with high medium work rates is a little bit strange for a card like this. Like I said, I do think that this base stat kind of transferred over to this one over here. But it's definitely a pick your poison situation in regards to using him on an engine for a little bit of a dribbling increase and also on a hunter. Again, stay central, get in behind, stay central, target man. That's how you're going to be able to fully utilize a card like this because if he gets into that position and you just shoot with him, the shots are pretty consistent from those first time angles, right? So a fun card, an FC Porto past and present player. Maybe if I pack him, he'd be a cool guy to have on my team. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.